A man who cannot move, cannot speak, cannot even breathe on his own. Last year, he edited a YouTube video with nothing but his thoughts. And nobody talked about it. That ends today. Before we go any further, if this kind of content blows your mind, smash that like button right now. Drop a comment. Would you put a chip in your brain? Yes or no, I want to see it. And if you're new here, subscribe, because we cover the things that actually matter. Alright. Let's go. January 2024. A man named Noland Arbaugh, paralyzed from the shoulders down, became the first human being in history to have a brain chip implanted by Neuralink. Within weeks, he was browsing the internet, playing chess, sending messages using only his mind. Zero hand movement. Zero assistance. I can play chess, browse the web, and use a phone all just with my brain, Noland said. But that's not even the most incredible part. A few months later, a 28-year-old man named Brad Smith, diagnosed with ALS, received Neuralink's chip. ALS had taken everything from him. His movement. His voice. Even his ability to breathe on his own. And yet, he edited and narrated a full YouTube video, using only his brain signals. Neuralink's AI rebuilt his voice from old recordings so he could tell his story in his own voice again. He said, "It took years to get here. And I still break down and cry." As of today, 12 people around the world are living with this chip. They have collectively used it for over 15,000 hours. This is not a prototype. This is not a trial. This is already real life. So what exactly is this chip? Neuralink's device, called the N1 implant, is roughly the size of 5 stacked quarters. It contains over 1,024 electrodes, spread across 64 ultra-thin threads, each thinner than a human hair. A robotic surgeon places it in your motor cortex, the part of your brain that controls movement. The chip reads your neural signals, the electrical patterns your brain produces when you intend to move, and translates them into real-time commands for computers, phones, robotic arms. You don't move. You just think. And here's what's wild: Brad Smith didn't even imagine moving his hand to control the cursor. He found it easier to imagine moving his tongue. The brain is that flexible, that powerful. And this chip is learning to speak its language. Elon Musk himself described the goal: a generalized brain interface. A kind of symbiosis with AI. Here's where every hair on your body is going to stand up. Because telepathy, the chip that lets you control devices with your mind, is just product one. Neuralink is now developing something called BLINDSIGHT. Blind sight is a brain chip that restores vision directly to people who are completely blind. Not through their eyes. Not through their optic nerve. Those can be completely destroyed. It goes straight to the visual cortex. The FDA has already given it breakthrough device status. Human trials are beginning right now. Early patients who were blind for decades are reporting seeing flashes of light, outlines of objects, shapes. But here's where it gets truly superhuman. Blindsight uses a camera in special glasses. That camera can theoretically capture infrared, UV light, zoom, night vision. Things no human eye can ever see naturally. The man who was born blind could see in the dark. And Neuralink isn't stopping there. They are now building closed-loop systems where your brain doesn't just send commands to robotic arms, it also receives feedback. Pressure, texture, touch. You could feel with a robotic hand. Think about that. A man with no arms, feeling the handshake of his son. That's not science fiction. That is happening. But I have to be honest with you. Because if your brain is connected to a device, that device can malfunction. Noland Arbaugh experienced exactly that. Some of the chip's threads retracted from his brain tissue in 2024. For a period of time, the system wasn't working correctly. Neuralink fixed it with a software update. But it raised a terrifying question: what happens when your brain depends on a company's server? What happens if that company goes down? And here's the deeper question: if a chip can read your brain signals, can it also be hacked? Neuroscientists call this cognitive liberty. The right to keep your thoughts private. Right now, no law in the world fully protects it. The same technology that gave Brad Smith his voice back could one day be used to monitor your thoughts without your consent. This is real. This is being debated at the highest levels of government right now. The power is extraordinary. And the responsibility is terrifying. Here is the truth that I want you to sit with tonight. Every time humanity took a leap, people were afraid. The printing press was going to destroy knowledge. The internet was going to destroy society. Smartphones were going to destroy human connection. And yet, here we are. Brain chips are the next leap. And they are already here. 12 people are living with them right now. By end of this year, Neuralink plans to implant 20 to 30 more. In the US, Canada, UK, Germany, and the UAE. We are at the very first chapter of a story that will define the next 100 years of human civilization. A man who couldn't speak told his story in his own voice. A man who couldn't move played video games with his kids. And a person born blind may soon see a sunrise for the first time. That is what brain chips are doing right now. Imagine what they'll do in 10 years. I'll see you in the next one.